Hello everyone, and welcome back to these very easy melodious etudes by Edward Elgar. Today we are on the viola and we're going to take a look at Etude 4. So Etude 4 is in a time signature that's actually absent in my part. There's nothing written there, but if you take a look at how many quarter notes are in every measure, you'll see that there are 3. So we have 3 beats in a measure and every beat is a quarter note. So we're in 3/4, even though that's funny, there's no time signature there. The tempo is marked andantino, and andantino is kind of slow and, taking its time. It's not too slow, like it's like a walking pace, but maybe like a wandering, looking in the windows of things and noticing details pace. So perhaps around here, something like this. This is 66 if you're curious. Let's go ahead and before we jump into this one, let's do some details with a pencil. So grab a pencil and let's just scribble in some things here and there. So the first thing let's circle is the fact that it starts piano. That's a little bit unusual to start something piano, isn't it? So let's mark that, and maybe you can write UH for upper half, because that's a nice place to play piano is upper half. And maybe we can also write FB, not for Facebook, but for fingerboard, FB, fingerboard. So we're in the upper half and we're going to be hanging out over the fingerboard perhaps there. Scanning that first line, we're going to run into cresce, which is short for crescendo, which means we're going to get louder, but it doesn't say how loud we're going to get. So we'll just kind of use our music skills and decide what would be a tasteful amount of loudness given the piano context. So maybe like no louder than mezzo forte, for example. And then we come right back suddenly to piano on that last measure of the first line. So right immediately, we're back in piano, which is kind of like whispering, so very gentle. Measure 8, we have a little double bar with 2 dots, 2 vertical dots, and that is a repeat sign. So you might have already known that, but that just means we're going to go back to the beginning, or we would go back to wherever we see 2 dots again, but in this case it's the beginning. So we're going to play that. I'm going to call that the first half, even though it's not half, but it's the first part, I guess. And then if we go back to measure 9, you can see we have another 2 dots. So after we play through the entire etude, you can see there's a first ending at the bottom. The first ending also has 2 dots, and so we're going to repeat back to measure 9 so that we're staying within those little 2 dots. So it's just a repeat. I feel like I'm explaining this very confusingly. But anyway, let's go back to measure 9. So measure 9, we also have lines over those quarter notes. And the line is, I guess, telling us a few things. A line can also mean détaché, and détaché is just a smooth, continuous sounding bow change, la, 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 la. A line can also mean tenuto, which is like a hold, so that you would hold for the value of the note completely. It can also just mean like, smooth and connected, or like maybe leaning slightly on the note, bringing them out kind of in a subtle way. There's all sorts of ways we can interpret a line, really. But anyway, we've got lines over those notes, and then we've also got a crescendo and another crescendo, and in measure 15 we can see we arrive at forte. So we are still in piano, but we're going to kind of gradually get to forte, which is very loud. Maybe when we get to forte, right there we can write WB for whole bow. Let's see if we can use as much bow as possible in measure 15. In measure 16 we have rit, which is short for retard. We're gonna pull back the speed there. And then we have diminuendo. We're just going to get gradually a little bit softer, a little bit quieter, maybe get to the tip of the bow because we're going to arrive in piano in the next measure. So to tip perhaps would be something to write in there. And in measure 15, 16, 17, where the piano is, we also have a tempo written. And a tempo is there because we kind of like moved the tempo a little bit. We slowed down, but they want you to go back into your regular speed, starting in that measure with a tempo. And we're in piano again, so maybe upper half fingerboard would be a good thing to put in. Measure 21, we've got a crescendo very quickly from piano to forte in measure 22. So when we have forte, let's definitely try and use as much bow as you possibly can for forte. But just keep in mind the end of that measure, measure 22, we have a little decrescendo to piano. So it's really just intense for a few notes, and then we're gonna back off and get to piano with a decrescendo diminuendo, getting quieter to pianissimo. And there's even a little grace note with a fermata. A grace note just comes before the note, and the fermata is a hold. So this is the measure before the first ending. Hold, and then 1, 2, 3. And then we would go back to our repeat in measure 9. Okay, and then since it's the second time, when we play through everything again, we're not going to take the first ending, we would just end on the second ending. All right, so there's lots of details in this one. I'm going to play it for you so that you can hear what it sounds like. I'm not going to play it with the repeat though this time, but as I'm playing it, maybe you can notice where I am in the bow, make some other little notes if you want. Just kind of sit there and breathe and listen. So I'm going to put the metronome on 66. And since we're in the key of C, no sharps, no flats, I have the basic hand pattern on my C string and G string, and low 2 on my D string and A string. All right, so let me make sure that you can still see what I'm doing. You can see how I'm starting in the middle, and I'm kind of closer to the fingerboard. So no repeats. 1, 2, 3. Crescendo. Going on. It's a little tricky to do those retards with the metronome on, but anyway, hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Shall we try it together? I didn't make a note at the beginning when we were going through details that those are slurs, those little things that are grouping all those notes together at the beginning. Those are just all slurs, so they're all in one bow. Another name for that is legato, and next week you'll get a little video from me talking about legato, and hopefully that will be helpful. But anyway, let's give this one a try together. We're gonna try it without the metronome. Okay, let's just do the first half. So let's put our instrument up. Remember your 2 hand patterns. Let's get our instrument ready. Let's put the bow on the C string in the middle, closer to the fingerboard. And let's get our basic hand pattern ready to go. Hop over to the C string. And we're gonna just do the first section there. All right, so to measure 8. 1, 2, 3. Crescendo. And then quiet. extra brownie point, if you can do this, when you have the crescendo, it's hard to crescendo and change your bow speed in that particular spot, because in both of those measures where we're supposed to crescendo, the bow is slurring 3 beats. So in order to change from piano to maybe mezzo forte, can you see what I'm doing with my bow? I'm changing the contact point. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. To go back to piano. So you can kind of change your contact point a little bit as well. Shall we do the next part? Let's start in measure 9. And measure 9, we're going to take this to the first ending. So measure 9, we're in the low 2 hand pattern over here. We're still in piano, so let's put the bow in the middle, and we're kind of close to the fingerboard and just really light. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So let's try the whole thing. Feel free to put in any notes or reminders of things at all. And I'm going to put the metronome on. So we'll actually do the repeats this time. Here is our metronome. We're at 66. So back to the very beginning with repeats and everything. So 1, 1, 2, 3. Repeat. Back to our repeat. So just imagine how pretty that would be with piano. Remember, these etudes are meant to be played with piano as well. So like I said in the violin version of this, last weekend I actually met a pianist at an event, And she walked right up to me and said hi and just asked me what I did. And I said, I'm a music teacher. And she said she's a music teacher as well and that she plays the piano. And so just put it out to the universe that you need to meet a pianist. And who knows, maybe they'll just walk right up to you and say hi. Who knows? But it's so fun to play music together. So here's your permission slip. Go make a musical friend. You have something to play together now. Something very easy that you can have fun with. So thank you for being here today, you guys, and I will see you next time, all right? Happy practicing.